I had a little bit of a break today during lunch, so I wanted to at least jump online real quick, do a live stream. Today's topic, and it's one that just kind of popped in my head, and I want to thank WROL on his channel because he kind of got me thinking with one of his videos today. And he was talking about folks who are discouraged, if you will, because they say, well, I don't have money, I'm disabled, I have, bad back or whatever. And they don't want to, they're afraid to contribute because they think it's not going to end well or that it won't make a difference. And I do believe actually he was absolutely spot on. Everybody can make a difference. You can be in a wheelchair or, have some other disability. And I mean, obviously within reason, you can still do, hi Teresa, you can contribute positively. But he got me thinking about people living their life and being discouraged. And I just wanted to share, I've had people ask me, well, I mean, you have a prepper channel, kinda, and you talk about dogs and you talk about bourbon and you talk about cigars and you talk about cars and there's other stuff. And they're like, well, that's not really a prepper channel. And I would beg to argue it absolutely is a prepper channel. And I'll tell you why. Is because you should live your best life as best as you can. I don't live to be in a state of paranoia and panic. I do the preparedness thing because things happen, because I live, because I do things, and because I participate in the world around me. Hey, what's going on, Teresa? Hey, Farmer. Hey, Hudson, what's going on? Yes, we're all gonna die Wednesday. We're all gonna die someday, although you could or may not die on a Wednesday. It's kind of weird. You never know. The reason I put all this other stuff out there, I mean, you look at the name of my channel, the roaming prepper, right? And a lot of people fixate on the prepper part, but they don't realize the roaming, it's not just me traveling in an airplane. It's me going to a baseball game for charity. It's me going to bringing my family to see other family members. It's meeting up with the veterans group guys and having a cigar and hearing the guys who went through some really horrendous shit talk about how they're doing to the other guys who may or may not have gone through the same thing, but are there to hear them. I roam around in my environment because I try to live my life around what's going on. And I encourage everyone to do the same. True, Kentucky, it is a valuable tool. Hey, Gen X, what's going on? I missed a few of you in there. The chat just like took off. But the preparedness thing should be, excuse me, something you do in the background of your life. You should live life and in the back of your mind say, how can I be better prepared for things that happen? And a lot of people fixate on the really outrageous stuff. In financial, there's a study. I actually just took this course. It was my last graduate course called, hey Loretta, hey Billy. It's called financial psychology or investment psychology. And one of the things they talk about is, what is it? It's got a weird name. I think it was conservatism bias. No, it's one of the biases that investors have, right? Because investors at the end of the day are people, right? And they make judgment calls based not just on what they said. Hey, WROL, I just shouted you out, my friend. But also, it's not just, they don't make a decision just on numbers. Sometimes it's a bit of emotion, a little bit of art and voodoo thrown in. But it talks about how people will overestimate small possibilities and underestimate or underappreciate things that are more likely to happen. So in other words, someone will buy a lottery ticket thinking, oh, if I win, X million dollars, I can retire or do whatever. But the chances of you winning that are like 1 in 100 million. But then they don't get good insurance for their car, whereas your chances of having a car wreck in a year is like 1 in 10,000. Their perception of what could or could not happen is kind of skewed. Hey, New York Prepper, what's going on? Or ex-NYC, sorry. True American Loretta, good to see you. Folks, the reason I have the dogs, the recipes, you know, videos of the outdoors, drone footage, all sorts of stuff is because, one, while I'm traveling, not everyone gets to get around the way I do. I'm sharing those things so you can look at them and say, wow, that might be something I want to do. And I'm kind of sharing a little piece of the travels with you. But it's also because that's what we should all be doing, right? We shouldn't be hiding in our basements or under our bed, fearful that, you know, the zombies or the chupacabra are going to come out. Instead, you should be asking yourself, while you're living your life, gee, did you see what was in that antique store? I wonder if that old coffee grinder works, because that would be a cool thing, both for the house, but also for preparedness. And I think the Four Horsemen we talked about. Oh yeah, first troll of the day. All right. No, yeah, they can go away. That's fine. Thank you, Teresa. Man, Teresa's quick. It didn't even show up on my screen. It was already gone. Live your best life. Enjoy your life. In the background, ask yourself, well, what if something happened here, right? I don't know. I'm traveling to Dallas. What if the riots broke out here? How would I get out? The little things you think about. Or while you're driving into town, go, I don't have a good physical map of Dallas. I'm going to buy the map. Is it a good preparedness thing? Hell yeah. You know what else is good for? Not getting lost in Dallas. And you can find your way and save money on gas, and then you get to your appointment, or you get to the game, or you get to the event on time, because you didn't get lost and, you know, wind up in the boonies somewhere, which has happened to me plenty, which is why I travel the way I do now. The point of all of this is you should enjoy, hey, independent, you should try to enjoy your life, and your preparedness should be the thing that gives you peace of mind behind what you're doing, if that makes sense. I'm not sure if I'm explaining what's in my head quite well. But hey, Love and Life, hey, Farmer, hey, Neil, you want to be able to live your life and you know, okay, I'm about town, right? I could walk home. It'd take me about an hour and a half from where I am. And that's not killing myself, not running, just grab my bag and start walking toward the house. And I just know, because I've actually walked from a bar near here, halfway between here and the house, and they had a fight in the parking lot and the Ubers couldn't get there, and I got frustrated, and I'm like, oh, it's a nice night, I'm gonna walk. And like 30 minutes later, I made it home. So I know that bar is halfway between my house and where I'm at right now. So I'm like, okay, multiply by 2. It's gonna be about an hour for me to get home. Now, granted, I was walking slower, or probably not in a straight line, because I was really drunk that night. But point being, no issues here, Loretta. We've had a lot of rain. Van Horn and Odessa flooded. Midland, Big Spring, and Abilene did not flood, but the countryside flooded. So as the water went downhill, it flooded up. And I hear the hill country, which is further toward the coast, they're having a little bit of flooding as a runoff. Yeah, no, Hudson, I was. And it was a beautiful night. And of course, the cops, you know, they see people walking around out of the bar. And so they put the light on you, make sure you're not causing trouble. Blinded the shit out of me. They were actually looking at a guy behind me who was flapping around. I don't know, who was being stupid. And they blinded everyone in that corner. So then now all the drunks are stunned, right? We're all like deer in the headlight because the cop went because of one moron in the parking lot. I guess they were making sure no one else was fighting. And then when my eyes recovered, I kind of staggered home. But nice night out in the little city in the middle of the country. Yeah, enjoy your lives. The preparedness should be something in the back of your mind. Like I said, I know I'm an hour from here. Bar story aside, I'm roughly an hour walk, and that's a moderate pace walk. I'm not running. I'm not trying to do something tactical. Just got to get home. Car won't start, or whatever the problem is. I'm going to bebop home. Having that map is a good idea in case you get lost. Maybe you want to find something else. Oh, wow, the line for this baseball game's too long. I don't want to do that. Let's go find something else. You open your handy dandy map, because guess what? Maybe the cells aren't working. The cells go down not because of the devil. It could be, sure, it could be a cyber attack. It could be lightning storms. It could be a software guy screwed up and knocked out a bunch of cell towers. The map makes sense, right? I have a first aid kit, and next to me I have a tourniquet because I have driven up on injured people. I have a first aid kit in the back. And the what? People get hurt. They trip over curbs and fall down. I mean, you could go on YouTube or TikTok or Instagram and find hundreds of videos of people doing dumb things because they're not paying attention. Teenagers in particular and young adults, they're texting on their phone into the fountain in the mall. And they bust their ass when they land, and now they're bleeding. And now they're wet and bleeding, and their phone's in the water, right? First aid kit. Wasn't a terror attack. Fountain didn't do anything. The fountain didn't say, Allah Akbar and attack someone. The fountain was just doing fountain things, and Knucklehead walked into it. But you have these things in your vehicle. You have them in your home. It gives me peace of mind knowing, oh, if I have a kitchen fire, I have 2 fire extinguishers within 10 feet of that kitchen. My dog gets hurt. Guess what? I have a dog first aid kit. I can actually use my first aid kit for the dog. Oh, my dog got in a fight, because guess what? Dogs sometimes fight. Or one of them was an idiot and fell down steps and got hurt and cut. Dogs fall down too. Live your life, live your best life, and prepare to give you peace of mind while you're living your life. Don't live your life in a state of perpetual panic and worry and darkness. It's not good for you. It actually will cause more problems. That's when you tend to be emotional. You spend money the wrong way. You upset your physical being and your emotional being. And if you don't think your emotions will affect your physical body and vice versa, they absolutely will. You get into a state of stress over months, your blood pressure is going to go everywhere, your heart rate goes everywhere, you start having other issues. Hoping accent. Flo had some effed up laws on helping accent. Florida? Or were you trying to type a different state? Florida, thank you. Okay. See, and that's funny because Texas has the Good Samaritan law that if you were trying to do a well-meaning assistance to a third party that a rational person would have done, now granted there's a little leeway in there, then you were absolved of that. Now, if you do something deliberately stupid, but if a guy falls off a motorcycle and I have to drag him off the highway and I say I hurt his leg more, right, and he loses his leg, the state says, well, I was trying to do a reasonably good thing because if I leave him in the middle of the road, another car is going to hit him and he's going to die. Then he'll really die if an 18-wheeler goes over him. So I was trying to prevent more harm from happening to that person. But anyway, point being, you have the first aid kit. I can't tell you how many lacrosse and baseball games and other games I went to when the kids were little. I was the only parent with a first aid kit besides the coach. And if the coach was late and the assistant coach was there, was a young kid, he didn't have shit. And people don't think of that. Your preparedness should give you peace of life in your day-to-day. It shouldn't consume your day-to-day. And when I hear other creators, and WROL did a great video, you really need to see it. He posted it this morning about 6 hours ago. But when you see people who are out there saying, oh, you need to do this, this is so bad, the end is near. I can't tell you how many times this potato in the country north of us keeps saying the end is nigh. And World War III is about to happen. And who's the other guy with no hair? But so there's two. One is a black gentleman. The other one's a white guy. I'm talking about the white guy now. He's here in the States. He has no hair, usually has no hair, and he always has bug eyes. Is survival... No, damn it. Spectrum Death. I don't remember. Oh, Full Spectrum Survival, I think. No, I can't remember. But there's one guy, he's always very intense, and his videos are good. But be alert, helping anyone. Yeah, unfortunately, Kentucky is the truth. But you know, and he makes some really great videos, but sometimes he gets really intense, and it's almost like, dude, you're gonna give someone a heart attack. Just calm down, brother. I like what he does. Like, he does digging. I do respect that. There are a couple others, they do great videos, but they scare the hell out of people, and you can see it in the comments that people are sad, they're upset. And he has the mustache. Well, when I saw him, he didn't have any facial hair. And the googly eyes. Yeah, okay, he does have the big eyes. And his videos are great. They're well done. His audio's crisp. I mean, videography-wise, it's great videos. Topics are good, but they're very intense. And I'm like, and I guess that's his shtick, right? That's what he does. But he scares the crap out of people. Live your life. And you want to watch these guys. There's one, what's his name? Southern Tier. No, shit. It's not Southern Prepper. Southern Tier? There are too many Southern Preppers. It's one of the Southern Preppers. He's a gray-haired guy, older, about maybe mid-50s, early 60s. He does really good videos. He's always deadpan, very calm. And they cover some really good topics, and some of them are concerning. But, yeah, see, in Loretta, that's the point. No, it's not Southern Prepper 1. It might be. He was on the proper show. His eyes look like scrambled eggs in a bowl of ketchup. That is the best image. I'm going to be using that phrase with people at work. Like, this guy's brain is scrambled eggs with ketchup. Like, what the hell? That was awesome. He was on the Prepper show. Oh, Southern Prepper was, or Full Spectrum? Well, anyway, either way. Okay, yeah, I can't remember who it is, but there's some that are very calm and they're systematic. They very clearly delineate what they're talking about. Say these are the concerning things, these are not concerning. Prepare accordingly, and it's a good message, and it's for a tough topic. And others scare the shit out of people. Don't. Live your best life, enjoy, travel, be with friends, be with family. And, you know, in the event something happens, you have that peace of mind knowing, well, I've got some food, I've got first aid kits, I've got things to protect my home, I've got stuff that will help me get through the hardships. And at the end of the day, if you take anything from this short live, it's a little longer than I was planning to, change my name to Southern Prepper. You should do no, if I remember, you should do something like Southwest, West Coast North Prepper or something. Just something really bizarre that people won't be able to say very quickly. Okay, maybe that's him. Yeah, and I like his style. I don't always see his videos, but I like when he comes out. He always has stuff printed, so he's very organized with the way he does. And that's cool, and some of the topics are concerning, right? But at the end of the day, folks, we should be doing what we're doing to enjoy. And also, it's sharing life stories with one another, right? So if I find a great product, most of you have pets. You have dogs or cats. A lot of you are homesteaders. You have livestock. If I find a great thing that works really well for dogs while you're traveling, well, you know what? God forbid there's a fire and you have to leave your homestead because you can't fight the fire with a gun. You got to get the hell out. You might be able to utilize that which I've already found and say, wow, if we do this, we can connect all the dogs on the trailer and off we go and we bug out with our pets. You know, my experience of what I saw helped you. A lot of you put comments or you'll tag me in things and say, hey, look what I found. And I'll be like, wow, that's a really great product. And you guys have helped me find things that I hadn't thought of. each of us is sitting somewhere different in our lives and in the world, and we're all seeing different things. And so, hey, Indy, so if we're all sharing what we're learning at the same time, someone's going to benefit. But I don't stress about it. Again, the name of my channel has two parts. There's the prepper part, but there's the roaming part. And that's the traveling, the eating, the seeing sites, the finding historical places. I will tell you later this summer, if I can get the time to do it, I'm going to go back to Dallas. They have two places I want to go and do a live stream if they'll let me. And I got to get permission. One is the book depository where Lee Harvey Oswald was sitting when he fired on JFK. I went to that museum. It was one of the best laid out museums. And I came up with so many more questions than answers. And what I thought I knew about what was going on versus what the facts played out. And they didn't go down rabbit holes, but they like opened a bunch of little holes on the ground for you to look down. The other place is the Holocaust Museum. And both of those are very profound places. If you're ever in the Dallas area, you got to give yourself at least 4 hours for either of those events, either of those locations. And they're only like 2 blocks apart. You literally, it took me, I was by myself. My wife had a conference and I went with her, and she was like, okay, I'm off to my conference. And I'm like, well, I have nothing to do, so I'm going to go screw off. And I found, oh, Holocaust Museum, history. And I was in there for 4 hours. And I learned so much about not just the Holocaust, but all this other horrendous stuff people do to each other throughout history. And what could happen again if we're not careful. But I got to do that. And I've made videos on both. I did a video on the JFK Museum, and I've done an older video on the Holocaust Museum. I'm going to hopefully go back to one of them and do an updated video. But folks, go live your life. Share what you're learning with your community. And if people reject it, or you get someone hops in and becomes, becomes the devil in your chat, kick them the hell off. You don't need that. Enjoy your life, protect your peace of mind, protect your happiness and the wellness of the people in your circle. And remember, there's 2 parts to it, right? There's the prepper part and the roaming part. There should be the same way for you guys. There should be your life, and then the preparedness thing is something you do down here. If something happens up here, you have the peace of mind of knowing you got this back here. So anyway, folks, I gotta go. Probably they pushed one of my meetings back, but I do have to start making my way to that side of town and go meet with those folks. So anyway, folks, you guys be safe, be careful out there, enjoy your life, learn, take pictures, share. To me, it's kind of like the zombies, right? The less people get bit by the zombies, the more allies you have, right? In my mind, the more people who are being preppers, even if it's on a small scale, the less people will be fighting over resources. If something happens, they're people who can be our friends because they're already thinking like we are to help us through that hardship together. So anyway, you guys be good, be safe, have fun out there, and have a safe 4th of July. Please don't do what me and my drunk friends did a few years ago and kick the lit fireworks at each other. Not a good game to play. And don't give the teenagers Roman candles, because one of them will become Voldemort and start zapping his friends with the Roman candle. And yes, that happened to us too. So anyway, you guys be good, be safe, God bless, and I will see you guys later this week. Take care.